Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. AngeLee here. Today I want to share a little bit more about
how it feels adulting with ADHD
and having a parent with ADHD.
also why I don't take my ADHD medication. So watch until the very end. I promise you will get something at least useful in this video. Something good. ADHD is very new to me. I'm still discovering myself. I'm still trying to figure it out. What is me and what is the ADHD? And I think
we just can't. We just want to know exactly what is ADHD and what is our personality. It's all us, right? It's all part of us. It's us.
And discovering that you have ADHD is awesome. To you, it's like a world changing.
Sometimes you're excited to share to people that you care about you having ADHD.
But mostly people don't care. Mostly people don't have info the way we have, because we are very interested about ADHD because we want to understand more about ourselves. I feel like most of people just say,
Okay, I got you. I understand you, but deep down they're just like,
you should try harder.
they do say, yeah, but I used to be like that, but I started doing this and I tried harder and I got it.
and it's tiring. Sometimes we really want to make these people that don't understand to understand how it actually feels, because they think they know, but they don't actually know, right? We that live through this every day, we know it's not that simple, like, oh, I just found motivation by myself. I don't depend on outside motivation. I mean, like, good for you. Even that we have a lot of studies, like scientific data studies, saying that ADHD is a
real change in our brain.
People just don't take it seriously. There is people that have more symptoms than others, right? I don't know, it's just weird. We know how it is, right? We have these important things we have to do, but we just don't do it. And it's weird because adulting means that you have to do it on your own, do it by yourself, be independent. Good thing about being a kid is they take the decisions for you. I had my own apartment and I lived by myself for 2 years. There was a lot of moments that I was like, oh, super excited. This is what I wanted. I want to be free. I don't want anyone telling me what time I have to eat. I don't want anyone telling me I need to do this or that. I want to have my own time. I want to be my own boss. A lot of the times
it's just chaos.
We just get really focused on something and then suddenly the time passed and we spent hours in something we shouldn't.
Oh, how can you possibly spend hours in something and don't do what you have to do? That just don't make any sense. But we that feel that we know how it is, because you say, okay, it's 9 now, so it's still very early. Until midday I still have time to do this.
So in the meantime, I'll do this, okay?
And then suddenly you see, and then it's 5 p.m. and you're like, how the hell the time passed so much and I didn't even notice. And I just feel, why? Something I had to do like for days. And it's not like I don't want to do it, it's my dream. Recording the videos is my dream. And I'm like, why I take so long to make it? But most of things in life is hard, right? Most of the things will require of us focus, attention, and effort. At first I was being very crazy about it. I guess sometimes we really have to put a lot, way more time in something than normal people would take. Like I recording a video. I know it's not easy even for people that don't have ADHD, but I have to take it the same shot like a billion times because I'm always forgetting what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm gonna do this video here.
This subject, and then suddenly I'm like, maybe it will be even better if I make this other video here. And then I start thinking about this other thing, and then this thing leads me to another idea. Then I say maybe this idea will be better, and then I start thinking about this other idea. And was supposed to just stick with one idea and do it. Stick with the idea, not keep changing. And then suddenly I'm in my 10 idea of the day. What? A lot of time passed and I still didn't thought about what I'm going to make the video about. I think that it's better for me to stick just with the first idea I had, but then I'm like, I don't remember what was the first idea, and I'm like, I know I have to take notes, but at the time when you're thinking, you're like, of course I will remember this idea. This idea is perfect, is the one I want. Most of the time, we have amazing ideas, and
If we don't take notes, the idea don't come back. It won't come back.
one of the good things about understanding more about ourselves, because it might work for other people, some methods. It's not like we want to keep making excuses for making mistakes or stuff, but we really have to understand more. It's not that I keep thinking about ADHD because I want to have excuses.
It is important to us more than anyone else to understand how it works.
I mean, it doesn't matter if the people you care about don't really care about your ADHD and your new discoveries, you know. But the important thing is that you understand. It doesn't matter if people will say that, oh,
You're not putting effort enough, you know? Should do this, you should just do a regular stuff and
stop being so childish, you know? You're just being irresponsible and childish. You're just being immature. No one likes their job. Jobs are not supposed to be likable. My dad used to say, you learn to like your job. You learn how to like it. It doesn't matter if you don't like your job now, but you will learn how to like it. You cannot keep saying you don't like this job.
But you have to learn how to like it.
And it's just not like this to us.
It's just not how it works. That's not how it works, you know?
And a lot of people think that you just
Being like that because you don't want to study, you don't want to.
be serious about stuff. And they say, honey, you need to have a real job. Otherwise, you're going to be in trash. You're gonna be nobody. You're gonna live on the streets. You know how it is. I mean, I know ADHD people is more sensitive to
Criticism.
when we do react to emotions in a dramatic way. We tend to be hyper reactive in a way we didn't want, more dramatic than we want to. Like, we knowing that we are like this, we can think about ways to get better and not be a slave of it. We definitely can, you know, work up a little bit better. For example, my dad, when I discovered that I had ADHD, every symptom I'm looking here, my dad has it. And it was so clear to me because when I was a kid, it was like
Sad, a little bit sad, because I felt like the other parents was just
so attentions to their kid. They had a lot of pictures of their kids, and I'm like,
Dad, why you don't have any picture of me when I was a kid?
And he's like,
Oh, I lost all of them.
I don't know where they are. There was a lot of times he forgot to give me food and he just left me in school the whole day without nothing to eat. And I was like, oh, my dad doesn't care about me. My dad doesn't love me. I don't remember why I started talking about my dad in first place. I was going to talk about, oh yeah, he was way more reactive before. I think he was just having a lot in his head. I mean, that's also something I don't know what it's my dad and what it's ADHD. I don't know, but
It was definitely looking like ADHD signs.
suddenly gets very mad at something so stupid, and I just get scared a lot of times, like why he reacted like this so suddenly and so brusquely. It wasn't my intention to him to be angry like this. It just got really better when you have more awareness of how you act, how you react, and why you reacted the way you reacted. You can definitely control better yourself. What? Forget it. Anyway, my dad was just super weird. I thought it was because he was Asian parent. But I saw that not all of the Asian parents are like this. Anyway, coming back. My dad is still like a lot of like this. Oh, Angel, you shouldn't yell with the dogs. You shouldn't be angry with them. You see how I am? I totally ignore them. I keep doing my stuff. And I'm like, okay, so you're saying you can completely ignore the dogs. They're not annoying you.
No, they're not. I can completely ignore the externals if I want to, and this is what you're supposed to do it.
That's my dad saying when I was yelling with the dogs. And I know I don't like yelling with the dogs. When I yell with them, I feel crazy.
Crazy.
And I know people that look at me yelling with them think I'm crazy also. I told my dad, I know, I don't want to yell with the dogs, but sometimes I just do it. I don't like it. And when I yell with them, I feel my heart racing so fast and I feel so angry and I just want to, I feel just super angry sometimes, you know. And when passes, I feel like, wow, why shouldn't? It shouldn't be that angry. It's not something irreversible. You know, there's always another way, there's always a way out. And in the same day, I see my dad trying to sing in his room, trying to do his karaoke, and then the dogs start barking to the cat in the ceiling, and then he started yelling like crazy, like, oh, shut up. Then it's my turn to say, oh, so you said the dogs don't bother you, huh? You can completely ignore. He knows he's not supposed to yell with the dogs, but he did. No, it's just I get crazy sometimes, but like I said, it's workable. Can't you just say, oh, I'm like this, I'm angry and I break stuffs, and that's fine because I'm like this, you know? You definitely knowing that you're like this every time before it happens, be aware of yourself. Going back to why I don't take my medication, because my dad has ADHD and he lives with it, you know.
I think for Asian families, Asian culture, it's not normal to look for mental health care.
And he just figured out ways to
Work with it. Ways that he could study, that he could do normal stuff.
remember in my childhood, my dad was so anxious that his skin of his hand was peeling off, was like flesh, meat. I don't know how you say it. I don't know. I just remember looking at it as a kid and I was like, what the hell? I know today it's a reaction of anxiety. I discover later that I think that's why I'm so anxious, because ADHD, all these stuffs can be passed by genetics. And this skin problem, when he was getting very anxious, his hand would heal off and start coming out a lot of bubbles. There was a time in my childhood that I was having these bubbles in my hand that scratch when I was more and more anxious. I think now I'm a little bit more chill because I've been working out in most of the things that I hated about myself. I'm understanding myself better, and I am cheering myself up mostly when I need. Anyway, I think maybe also because I come from a traditional Asian family and they don't like taking medication. They are like this type of people that like natural medication, natural stuff. Asian people like healthy and bitter vegetables, My grandma with 91 years old was so proud, was always telling everyone how she was proud that she didn't have to take any medication with her age. And I think I just wanted to be proud of myself that I didn't have to take meds. I mean, if my dad didn't have to take meds, I think I should try not taking meds too. It's fine for people that take meds, but definitely taking meds is not the only option. Sometimes the medication might even be worse. I heard that medication might get you even more anxious because you do have your heart racing like this. I didn't took much of my medication. I just wanted to try, and it felt like the first time I took it was like, damn, it was definitely different. Feeling like, anyway, the thing is that in the second day, it was like the effect of the med was started earlier than the day before. It just means that you will get more and more doses, even bigger doses, so it can be effective to you. Of course, I know I have other medications. I just tried one. It was Ritalin 10 milligrams, and I know there is people that only take them the days they really have to work.
When I say this, I understand why people that don't have ADHD want to take the med.
Because everyone feels like not wanting to do stuff that we don't want to do. And when they say have a medication that helps you do stuff that you don't want to do, that helps you study when you don't want to study, everyone wants that, right? It's just hard. People won't understand that it's so different. People will think that you're just lazy and you are having extra tools. I feel like people feel like we just have extra tools to live easier, and they don't. Okay, coming back to my dad and he overcoming his ADHD problems, the problem of studying, the feeling stupid. It's interesting. When I told my dad that I discovered my ADHD and that he probably had it, was a mind-blowing for him too. He was really excited. He was like, "You're right. I definitely have this." And he started telling me about how people in his work or school, it's common to people make fun of him. He feels like people feels he's a little bit dumb, don't know how to talk well. People often doubt on his capabilities. It was interesting to see my dad talking about these stuffs, because also he was just annoying to talk. He was just impossible to talk. He just never had time to talk something normal to me. It was always, "Hey, just study." ADHD have this stuff of talking stuff that hurt people when most of the time we don't think at a time that it's hurtful, but it is. And we just think after we say it, and a lot of the time we don't even figure it out that it was hurtful. I mean, a lot of things that my dad said that was hurtful, he don't even remember. Like he's saying I was dumb, I was not smart like my brother. He's saying that he wants to get rid of me, live far away. He just wanted to be free of us. I truly believed. I really believed he wanted to get rid of me. But I think it was a lot of pressure, being a single parent, having 2 kids to raise, having ADHD, being like lost to the way he is. I think he actually wanted to get rid of the responsibility of making choices for us, right? Because like I said, growing up means that you have to take your own decisions, and I think it was too much for my dad having to make the right decisions for us. I think my dad had his own dreams like everyone has, but I don't know. Anyway, people, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about how I feel, about all this, about ADHD. It's just, sometimes we do want to talk so much about it. We feel like, oh, it's so exciting. I have ADHD. I mean, it's not exciting, but it's definitely something you want to know more about, because we know we had all our lives was affected by it. The important thing is keep working to understand how we can get better, right? I definitely did find out a lot of ways
To overcome some of the things that we don't want to do.
daily basis.
One thing that worked for me is making it a game, challenging myself.
Oh, I need to do this until this time. And when I do this, I can, it works. Having a reward. And we definitely need to have a deadline, When you think you have time to do it, still you mostly won't do it. You will always live to the last minute, to the last second. And that's not good, and I do in a rush and come out eating, and I don't like that. So, I was talking about my adult life. Yeah, when I was living by myself, it was hard, this part, because I was very focused, hyper-focused in working, and I just had no time to take care of my home. I had real problems to eat. I was not eating. I was not going to the bathroom to pee. There is time that I just don't pee, and I have to pee and I don't go. Like, why you don't go? Why you don't go? Sometimes even hard and like I need to pee. I know it's not healthy to hold the pee.
I studied nursing, and I had this class. I remember when I was in the class and I saw the bad side of holding pee.
I thought to myself, it was a B, and like I'll never hold a pee again. And there I am, editing my videos, doing my stuff, and I just don't pee, don't blink, don't eat. I don't stop to eat. Sometimes I stay all day without eating, and then I start to feel like, oh, I'm dying, I need to eat. And then I start crawling to the kitchen to find something to put in my belly, but at this time I'm already so dying of hunger. I'm so weak that I just take anything that I find, like an old bread, and I just eat it with anything inside. And now I came to live with my dad. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't remember what I was talking about. I had to move to here because the neighbor was making sounds there and I was being distracted. I forgot what I was talking about. So this was my first podcast, or just trying to see how it is to make a video without script. Usually I always have a script to make my videos because I get lost so easy, and like you could see, I just start talking about something and then I just, you know, and I'm sure a lot of people is going to get me and say, I don't know, there's always someone that misunderstands what we say. And whatever, this video is not for those people that wants to always find something wrong to point it out.
This video is for people that actually need,
To talk a little about it. Sometimes we have thinkings, and sometimes we think if other people have these thinkings too, And sometimes we do feel a little bit crazy and low. And I know how nice it is when you find a video and you feel like, oh, this is everything how I feel. It's just so nice. It just feels good inside of you when you feel like this person knows exactly how I feel. And that's why I like creating these videos, because the same way I found videos that helped me, and it was not people that was like highly professional in the subjects. What it made the difference to me was knowing they were real people, that they really lived through that. Because mostly in Brazil, YouTube at the time where I was trying to find search about was not having that much real people posting about it on YouTube about ADHD. It was more psychologists, professional doctors talking about, if you have ADHD, you probably feel like this and that, and you have to do this and that. And I was like, okay, you're talking this, but I don't feel like he really knows what I'm going through. I feel like if I do this, I might not even work because he don't know how it is. But when I saw people that actually had ADHD and that really actually, anyway, I'm sorry this video was so crazy, was having no script. I'll make script next time, I think. I mean, it just get too crazy and too lost without script. The beginning goes to the end, and the end, it's in the beginning, and Anyway, this is my video. I'm sorry if it was just boring. I hope
You will like it, and
see you in my next video. Don't forget to share your thoughts, your ideas, to give a thumbs up if you find this video at least entertaining. Anything, please. It
really make a lot of difference to me.
and you take a little time to put a comment. You already took the time to watch the video. Why don't put a little comment?
Is something so fast and free for you, and
It will just make me so happy, and no one likes to depend on outside motivations, but it's definitely very useful in the days that we are feeling very down. It definitely makes me very, very, very happy. So thank you for watching. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the new subscribers. I hope I don't disappoint you guys. And bye.